Hey everyone, looks like I am live and we're good to go. Just move this. So time management. If you watched the earlier one in this series of time management, um, I was talking about how like we're working two jobs, whether you realize it or not. So you have your 8 hour, 9 to 5, 9 to 5:30 job, whatever. Um, but you're not really working because you're sitting at a desk. So you're working up here, but you're not working physically um, like people used to when they tilled the farm. Well, that same day, and I didn't realize it because it was a surprise, I was actually going to Lancaster and we got to go to a farm, an Amish farm. And as we were going, I just look out the window and I see a man on a wooden contraption, followed by a dog running after him, and preceded by two horses pulling that wooden contraption along a field in neat rows, like a farm field. And I just said out loud, "Wow, that is the life." I mean, and that's just comes right in the same day that I did that a live stream about realizing that my job is all up here, but um, I'm not using my physical body to do my job. All right. So is it a problem to think? Is it a problem to think and work? No, there's no problem with that. But the problem comes when it replaces the actual work. Actual work of the human body needs to be physical too. It can't just be mental. So I'm looking at the Amish and I see, well, they don't really have and I'm not sure the technical details, but they don't have as much technology as we do. As and when I say we, as in me and society as a whole. But the Amish, they're very, very distant from technology in many, many ways. I know there is some technology that they have adopted, um, but they're still very, very physical. Even yet, machines are taking over even more and more. But I look at that and say, well, that's the way we need to be. We need to be more physical in our job. And if we're spending 8 hours staring at a screen, we're going to be burnt out. So I look at the Amish and I say, well, that's the way to be. But yet, look how many Amish there are compared to the rest of society. Less than 1% of 1% of 1%. So very, very, very few people. And yet, if that's the way to be, you look at it and say, yeah, they're getting their exercise, they're healthy. And you just look at the community and they're generally happy people. I know we don't want to base the essence of what life's importance is upon purely a gratification technique on happiness. But if you do look at the Amish and you say, well, yeah, they're more cheerful. There's something about it. They do their work diligently. I'm not saying that I don't enjoy what I do. I love my job. I love my team, but at the same time, it is a 21st century job, which is a lot of sitting down and a lot of screen work. Even if you're a school teacher, which I know is a big industry, even if you're a teacher, you're still going to be sitting down a lot, grading papers, and even in today's age, when we're a lot of virtual teachers out there, you're gonna be sitting down, looking at a screen, maybe talking. So you're using that part of but you're just using your head really, and you're not really pulling, you're not really pushing, you're not really riding any mules. You're not on the farm. Farm gives you so much exercise because you're using your upper body and your lower body. You're using the whole body. Um, so that's my 2 cents. That's what I really feel. And how does that tie into time management? How are we? So we know the problem is, unfortunately, AIs are taking over. What do I mean by AIs? Computers. Let's just say computers are taking over. The machines are taking over. Um, should we just go back to the simple lifestyle just to have a healthier body, to have a healthier life, to have clarity of mind? Because when you're sitting in front of a TV or sitting in front of a screen, don't you sometimes start to doze off or like get into a state of mind, a trance state, which is just mode, which is just go, 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 don't think, just kind of zombie mode. I guess zombie would be a perfect, and not saying that we don't necessarily, we might love our jobs, but still, I mean, you get into just staring at a box your entire life. You don't see reality. You think about reality. You think about processes. Okay, so if this is the criteria for this step, then we want this function and we want this code here. And we want this to be attached to this connected to this, except for in this condition. And you're just doing that over and over. And that might be really fun. It might be like a puzzle. But let's think a little bit deeper. Why can't we do programming? Why can't we do processes? Why can't we do computer activities and tasks in real life? Why does it have to be in a box? Why does it need to be on a screen where we're staring at each other through that screen? Why can't it be in person? Why can't you use a grass blade and have the grass blade represent a certain file or a certain document or a certain code, and then have a leaf and then have to walk from one end of the field to the other to connect the leaf with the grass blade? Now, I might be talking nonsense right now to you, but it's like, why would I want to do that when I can simply just have a computer do it for me? But you're using the same process. You're using the same puzzle that you enjoy doing at your job. You might not make as much money, but you might be happier doing so. And you might be able to use that analytical side or that scientific side, that mathematical side that a lot of people, have, and why they like working at jobs on computers, sitting down. Maybe your job isn't analytical, so you can't really use the leaf in the grass and walking from, from one side of the field to the next. That might be pretty absurd. But what if you're in calls all day? Or what if you're in a meeting? Or what if you're like more on a higher level, CEO, management, and you need to talk with people? Why can't you do that in person? As in, you go out to a field and you say, hey, I'm going to ride this horse while I'm talking to you, while I, harvest my field. Why can't I do that? Work two jobs at the same time. Work my day job on my computer, while I'm also working as a farmer. It's impossible. Okay, so just because you're trying to double task, and you're saying, okay, I can do 8 hours online, but then I'll get my physical exercise at a gym or on a farm. But then you're doing 8 hours online, and then you're doing your other job 8 hours on the farm, and then 8 hours sleeping. So basically, your life is composed of eating, not even eating, because you don't have time to do that. Your life is composed of sleeping and working and sleeping and working and sleeping and working. I mean, it's just, we need to find a way to get back to a healthy lifestyle. We need to find a way to get back to what it used to be like. And you're saying, hey, people are happier now. There's more money out there. Technology has really made us happy. It has made us better people. Um, and I say, well, let's analyze here. If we go back to Genesis, first few chapters, see Adam, Cain, Seth, um, Methuselah, Noah. Common theme, if we're going as far back, Adam lived 900 and some years. Methuselah lived 900 and some years. Enoch lived 365 years. You know, and now I'm looking about right here in this present day and age. Average lifespan is like 70-ish, 71, 72, 73, somewhere in the 70s. I mean, and you're saying technology is making us better? I only see technology as making it worse. Um, Technology is just speeding up the decline of the human race, human population. People lived longer back then. Did they have better technology? You're saying, oh, well, that was before the flood. Then after the flood, God made people only to live 120 years or something like that. And then, well, do you see people living to 120 years old, except for really, really crazy instances, which they don't even get to it, you know? So to say that people are healthier now because of technology, better conditioned because of technology, it just doesn't check out. And it makes sense that people back then would have healthier lives because they're actually working, they're using their muscles. You say, oh, the Middle Ages, people lived to 40, people lived to 41. Well, that had nothing to do with technology versus working in the field. That was more of like medicine. I'm not saying technology hasn't increased medicine, um, but the doctors really aren't that healthy because they're sitting in front of the computer all day, or they're sitting with a patient all day. They're not really working out in the field. So I think the simple lifestyle that the Amish have is probably one of the more healthy lifestyles you can have. Um, just an observation. And my goal here, I'm trying to identify the problem, which is lack of movement at your job. How we can fix that without leaving your job, because nobody wants to do that. You enjoy your job, but you just don't enjoy the exhaustion at the end of the day. It's like you check out at 5:30, say, oh, I just want to go to sleep. Well, okay, that's fine. But what did you do all day? You just used your mind. What I mean, that's great. You were smart. You did your work. But your body's saying, I did nothing all day. Because your body doesn't know what your mind did, really. Your body isn't your person completely. It can't talk. Your muscles are going to be sore if you don't use them. Your bones are going to become weak. Your body's going to become weak if you don't use it. So then you say, oh, I need to, I'm so tired. I've been staring at the screen for 8 hours. I just want to go to sleep. I want to get food and then I want to go to sleep. And then before you know it, it's the next day and you do it all over again. And by the time I get to Friday night, it's like, finally. So, and this goes right back to time management. It's like you just work and then sleep, work and then sleep, work and then sleep. You have no social life because you're so tired. And maybe you do have a social life, but you just become the lame person. Because, and you're not a lame person. I'm not a lame person, but you feel that way because you just have no energy to exert yourself anymore. And that does get depressing. Just it makes sense if you're not doing it. And it's like that little. I remember there was a little picture I saw once of, and this is like the 9 to 5 job picture of people. You start out on Monday, and it's kind of like walking up a sled with a sled up a snow hill. Um, I grew up in Schenectady, New York. Lots of snow there during the winter, and I remember walking up a hill with my sled. Not fun because this maybe a foot, maybe 2 feet, and it goes all the way up to your knees, and it's just hard to walk up the hill all the way with this sled. As a kid, like 6 or 7 year old, having fun, trying to just get up there to go down sledding. So that's how I feel like we start out on Monday, 9 to 5 job. You go sit in front of your screen, whatever, blah, 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 start checking through emails, yada, yada, yada. You enjoy your job, but you're sitting at the screen. It's hard. You're tired. You're going up the hill, walking with that sled. Tuesday, you're starting to see the top of the hill a little bit, but there's a lot to go. Wednesday, you're halfway there. Thursday, you're like, yes, I just gotta. You start running on Thursday. You start running to the top of the hill. You start realizing, oh, if I just start running, so you start speeding up. And Thursdays tend to be the busiest days because you just want to get it all out. You don't want to do anything on Friday, right? But then you realize you get to Friday, you say, it's still got to get up there. It's kind of like you're situating your sled. Friday, you're already making your weekend plans, situating your sled, starting to get ready to go down. And then Friday night, bell rings, 5:30, you're out. Boom. Boom, you go down that hill. Whoo, you're going fast. Saturday comes along, you're having the time of your life. Before you know it, it's Sunday. You're sliding along. Maybe you're watching football. 4:30, 8:30 comes along. Remember, time ticks by. 8:30 is Sunday night football. You're watching it. Woo! You're on level play. Woo! 8:30 halftime. It's probably the Patriots, right? Because they're always on Sunday night. Always win somehow. They always come from behind. Woo! What happened? Oh, wait. The game is over. I went to bed. Before I knew it, it's 6:00 in the morning. The lights cracking through the. Speaking of time, my alarm set. The window. Good timing there. The window is the sunlight is cracking through the window, and you realize it's Monday morning. Time to do it all over again. Walk your sled up to the top. Now, if you have a job you love, it's not walking. If you have a job you love, you're going down that hill all the way. It would be a different analogy. It would be a more fun analogy than having to walk up a hill if you actually enjoyed your job. I'm not saying you don't enjoy your job, but you do realize it takes a toll on your body. So this is what your physical body is feeling. So I need suggestions. Suggestions. We really need to be realistic about this as millennials. We're humans too. Okay, we need to be healthy. We can't just be eating junk food all the time. And we're probably the most unhealthy decade of all society, right? Because we're on our own, maybe just got married or starting to get married, dating, yada, yada. What are we supposed to do, when we're working all the time? So this is a big problem that we need to fix. I guess it calls for creativity in the workspace. So how are we going to move things? How are we going to package things? How are we going to lift up heavy objects? How are we going to run? How are we going to move our legs, our arms? How are we going to move our torso, our full body? How are we going to do that in the workspace today as everything's going away from paper and online? How are we going to do that? if we can't figure that out, I think we're in for a big problem in the work industry of the office space. And I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. I feel there's a lot of people who would. Um, but we don't really talk about it because we don't have time. All right, guys. Till next time. Give me some of your suggestions, comments. I really want to know, what can we do? How can we make this better? Love to hear it. Hopefully I can get some guys and gals on this debate thing or whatever. Or if you feel like you want to join me on a podcast, I'd love to. We can do it on Facebook. I have a great way to live stream things using headphones and a mic. If you have earphones and a mic, please feel free to hit me up, chat me, talk to me. I'd love to have you here, kind of do a podcast thing. I think I like this thing on time management. It's something that's big on my heart. I know I have a friend who is eventually going to do a podcast with me. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited for that. So, but if you have any other ideas, rather than me just ramble on for 20, 30 minutes, which I know is pretty fun, right? But especially if you've gotten this far. But if you don't like it, then join me, debate me. I'm pretty smart. I know everything. So I know most things. So if you think you have an alternative viewpoint, I'd love to argue with you, debate with you, friendly debate. Pretty good at that. So I just observe the world as it is. Sometimes I feel like we take things for granted. I don't like to take anything for granted, so I like to question things, question why we believe things. I know that faith is, everybody needs faith, but at the same time, faith, you need to question things and to find out, find that evidence for the faith that you have. So please feel free to debate me on anything, all things and anything. I would like to agree with you if I can, but also push my point or see your point pushed if that's your desire. But I will guarantee you I will beat you in the debate if we have opposite sides. So I'm just saying I am pretty sure I will beat you in a debate if you disagree with me. That's my challenge. Just kidding, but not really kidding. Please do. All right, let's end this stream right now. Hope you had a great time. And we will reconvene at a later time. Till next time.